Welcome back to the Infinite Skills SOLIDWORKS 2013 video training. In this lesson, we will take a look at what happens the first time you run SOLIDWORKS, so you'll know what to expect and how to handle the various questions that SOLIDWORKS poses to you. You remember from the last lesson that to start SOLIDWORKS, just go to the desktop and double-click on the SOLIDWORKS icon. The first thing that you are greeted with is the SOLIDWORKS License Agreement. This is otherwise known as the EULA, End User License Agreement. You should read this and accept it if you want to use the software. One of the things that you should know about the EULA is that it provides for a home use license. So you can use the software at home as well as at the office. Using the software at home allows you to practice creating things like a doghouse, the deck on the back of your house, a soapbox derby racer, things like this to help you practice with the software and feel more comfortable with it. After agreeing to the EULA, SOLIDWORKS presents you with this Welcome to SOLIDWORKS dialog. You've got two decisions to make in this dialog. The first is telling SOLIDWORKS how you want to handle help. If you're a new user, you should obviously select the first option. If you've been using SOLIDWORKS and are just new to this version, you might consider choosing the second option. If you're already an expert, you'll probably want to choose the Do Not Show Me Any Dynamic Help option. Dynamic help will include quick tips and the interactive What's New. As an experienced user, I find the second option very useful, because the interactive What's New help puts a little question mark next to functions that are new in the current version. The workflow customization is something you can decide about now and change your mind about later if you like. All that it's doing is turning on or off certain toolbars that are most appropriate for consumer product design, machine design, or mold design. You will learn how to do these customizations manually in one of the upcoming lessons. SOLIDWORKS presents its default interface the first time you open it, with the exception of this toolbar here, which is for a 3D connection space mouse. If your computer is not equipped with one of these, you will not see this toolbar. So I'm going to remove it, and to do that, I just grab the toolbar, drag it off, and click the red X. The window that you see to the right-hand side is the SOLIDWORKS Resources window. This is part of what's called the task pane. The task pane includes all of these tabs that you see on the right-hand side. If I just click inside the gray area, the tabs condense over to the right-hand side. I can get back to the SOLIDWORKS Resources tab by clicking on the house icon, or I can go to a SOLIDWORKS forum, open the design library, look at File Explorer, use the View palette, examine appearances, scenes, and decals, or look at a Custom Properties tab. We will go through each one of these tabs in more detail in a later lesson. When you're getting started in SOLIDWORKS, you might want to take a look at some of the documentation for beginners, such as Making My First Part, which walks you through making a simple SOLIDWORKS part with the directions on one side and the SOLIDWORKS window open on the other. There's also a tutorial for making your first drawing, which uses the first part to create a 2D drawing. And then there are an assortment of tutorials. Also, the Introducing SOLIDWORKS document is a PDF that is a nice resource for beginning users to understand more completely the SOLIDWORKS software and how it is used. SOLIDWORKS is a Windows-based program, and so the icons that you will see for running SOLIDWORKS will work like other Windows programs, including the tooltips. Tooltips are a great way to find out more about the interface very quickly. SOLIDWORKS gives the name of the command, any shortcut for the command, such as the Alt Control-Z, and a brief description of what the command does. This toolbar at the top is called the title bar toolbar, and this is always available regardless if there are documents open or not. There is also a set of menus that's available as a flyout from behind the SOLIDWORKS icon. If you want to pin this in place, you can use the push pin at the end. Notice that when you do this, the toolbar is permanently moved to the end of the menus. Let's open a SOLIDWORKS document by going to the Open icon and browse to the Working Files folder for Infinite Skills video tutorials. In the folder for Chapter 1, you'll see the doghouse part. Double-click on this to open it. You'll see several things pop up in the screen at once. The first on the top is we have an older version file, which means this part was last saved in SOLIDWORKS 2012. This will go away if you save the part in 2013. Notice also down on the right-hand side, you have a box that asks you, what would you like to do? This is called the Quick Tips box. You can control this using the question mark box down on the status bar. You can turn the quick tips off or on. There are different quick tips available for the 3 types of SOLIDWORKS documents: parts, assemblies, and drawings. Because right now we have a part document open, turning quick tips off in this environment means that you will see that dialog again when you open an assembly or a drawing. The same is true for toolbars. So I will have to turn off this 3D control toolbar when I open an assembly or a drawing.